Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the Tier 10 Wrench Tech Tree Medium, the Projet Murat. This is a vehicle that has had a really lackluster release in Blitz. Normally, when a new line gets released, you see a lot of people flocking to it to try it out. And that was the case with the Rhino. There are a bunch of Rhinos, and they're quite common to see once every 3 or 4 games. The Murat? I've maybe only seen a handful of over the past month, which is pretty impressive, judging that this is actually a rather fun vehicle. So in today's video, I'm going to be asking the question, is this a line that's right for you? Is this a good tank? And my overall feelings, opinions, and thoughts on the tank. So what are we going to do? Well, let's start off by taking a look at a battle. I literally just played this game live, thought I was recording. Turns out I wasn't recording, and accidentally ended my recording when I meant to start it. So we're just going to pretend like this is a live battle, but thankfully, because I literally just played it, it's still fresh in my mind. This is hands down the best game I've played in the Murat yet, and it's going to be a great showcase of the fact that this is a really dangerous tank if you know what you're doing. So up against us, we have a Progetto, a T-22, and a Boschatillon in terms of mediums. A 183 in terms of a tank destroyer, and apart from that, an ML2 and K91 plus a 5A. This is the kind of matchup I like. Very little tank destroyers. And the reason why is because I don't need to worry about randomly getting nuked for 900 damage. Speaking of nuking, we just took 657 health off of that enemy T-22, and just like that, he's half health. I mean, that's what the Murat can do. It plays just like a Barask in terms of the nuking potential. And it feels so incredibly nice to be able to just go bam, bam, right off of somebody's health. So, we have the 183. We're going to get one shell into his tank for 355, and a second for 463. Nice max roll. We've done now 2 clips, 1500 damage, and once again, we back in the cover. You see, on paper, the DPM of this vehicle is pretty bad. It's like 2,600-ish. But in reality, it's not that big of a problem, because you're usually not playing this tank aggressive. And when you're using that damage, you can deal a lot. That Progetto shoots me once for 357, I shoot him back for 700. So now we're up to 2,200 damage dealt, we still have 1,100 health left. So this is a very good start for today's battle. Not bad at all. The 183 gets shot, and I should have just fired my shell, but I hesitated for some reason. I was hoping that maybe I'd see his hull or something, but that's alright. We're going to start reloading. At this point, I was thinking to myself, I'm going to flank, because there's no reason for me to hold here when I can't really do anything. That Progetto is far wide. It's just not worth it. So instead of trying to hold that position, I'm going to flank. And coincidentally, the Boschatillon and K91 got spotted the moment I flanked as well. So we're going to aim it on the Boschatillon, and we're going to get one shell for 342, and a second shell for 328. Both low roll, but you know what? We penned them, and we brought what was a full health tank down to 930 health. So now we reload. We got 5 seconds left, and we should be able to get out some nasty damage. So we got the K91 right in front of me, and I'm going to aim it on the K91's lower plate. We got a 377, and that sucks. Great example there of the kind of mediocre accuracy. .344 is bad. That's one of the things I don't understand why Wargaming made the dispersion so poor, because you know, when you miss a shot in this tank, you're not only nuking your damage output, but basically it means you have to wait 14.5 seconds to deal 1 shell of damage. That's pretty bad. So I do feel like the dispersion should be a little better on this tank, but as you can see, we're already up to 4,000 damage in this game. We're doing a pretty good job. The Boschatillon dies, which is really important. Thank you to our 50B. And now I've decided that I'm just going to flank around this K91. He misses me. We got 1 shell into his tank for 367, 2 shells into his tank, and we back into cover. So now we're up to 4,750 damage. I know that because he missed, there's no way he's going to be able to kill me anyway. So he shoots. Now he's got no shells left. He does slightly tap me, though, which takes off 92. Bruh. Oh, well. We're going to get 1 into his tank, 2 into his tank, and he is out of the battle. So just like that, we're now up to 5,300 damage. They have a almost full health of MIL2 and a WZ-111 5A. I know that I need to support my teammate. While this MIL2 is a threat that needs to be taken care of, I am a 2-shot, and that's an autoloader with 3 shells. So I really don't see much reason in wasting my time on a tank that can literally nuke me when I could use my better mobility, and we're going to see that ML2 get spotted right there, but I'm going to use my better mobility and quickly maneuver all the way over to this 5A. So we're going to drive right over the ridge. And we're going to aim it on his tank. We get one shell, 363. We're going to aim it on the side again. Really? Really. We hit that one little red bar and end up bouncing. Now, this 5A actually tries to tunnel me. I don't know how he thought that shell was ever going to hit, but I knew the Emil was a threat, so I specifically positioned myself in a way that the Emil would not be able to hit me. And now that I see the Emil's looking at the 100, I'm going to start aiming it on the 5A. Oh, that was just unfortunate. But, oh well. The Emil's over there. We got the 5A in front. I'm going to shoot the 5A one more time because I need to make him a one-shot for me. So, there you go. Easy shell. 5A tries tunneling me again. Bounces the shot. I guess we kind of got lucky, but it didn't really matter because I don't end up getting shot again in this game. But, yeah, that 5A honestly may have thrown the chances they had at winning because that 5A easily could have shot at the 100 both times there and would have killed him. And would have been able to just hold then, and I would have had to figure out what the heck I was going to do. But because that 5A decided to tunnel me, it put him in a situation where now the E100 was able to kill him. So, we get one shell into the Emil 2, and two shells into the Emil 2, bringing him down quite a substantial amount. The E100 aims in on him, does 466 with a non-penning EHE. Honestly, I was a little disappointed the E100 shot him, because I was really hoping I could get out just that little bit extra. But, oh well, I'm not going to get too mad. I was able to deal 7,158 damage in the Murat here, and get an absolutely crazy victory. You can see why this is actually a very solid tank. Like, yes, it has downsides. The accuracy, especially on that 5A there, was a little goofy. But, I mean, the tank itself absolutely carried this battle, which should have been a sure defeat. We were able to get out these double shots, bam, bam, over and over and over, into the Progetto crossing, into the T-22 crossing. And because of that, it allows you to quickly get out damage, reposition, and do it all again. I actually think Wargaming did a pretty good job balancing this tank out and giving it solid damage output while also allowing it to be a rather fair and fun tank. This game here is going to be another great example of how you can quickly turn the tides of a battle, which looked like a defeat, into a victory just from the tank's capabilities. So I'm going to start off this battle using my speed boost, and I see that my Caro's not supporting me. But I'm hoping that, okay, well, they only have 3 mediums. And I was personally hoping that I was able to hold off these mediums. I still have the Caro on medium flank, and the player's still overlooking me. But honestly, I should have just ran. And then I saw my 1-2-1 was running, and I was like, uh-oh, this is a problem, because now I have no support. So, oh man, this is not good. Not only that, but you're going to see this enemy Progetto just YOLOs out, as aggressive as he can to try and shoot at me, which is not very beneficial to me at all. Progetto misses the first shot. Okay. We are in cover a little bit. Progetto misses the second shot. Great job, Prague. Well, we are going to aim it on his tank. We got one miss. That sucks. We're going to shoot on him again. We got a pen for 360, but yeah, we just went from full health to 458 in a matter of like 5 seconds there. And it's a great example of just what happens when your team doesn't support you. Now, to be fair, I probably shouldn't have played up there to begin with, but it's just really annoying when you're literally destined to fail from the beginning due to the matchmaker. Now, we have that Leopard 1, and I know that I have more alpha than the Leopard. Only by 10, though. It's really not that big of an increase. Problem I know right now is that I'm on a not-so-good side of the map. I'm stuck here, and that Leopard's right in the crossing. So if that Leopard just sits there, it can shoot me if I try to cross. But I don't have a choice, so I'm just going to aim it on the 50B. I know the Leopard's not there because he's spotted elsewhere, so we're going to aim it on the 50B. We get a 376, and because of the way this bush is designed, I don't get spotted through it. So we're able to get actually a decent chunk of damage off that 50B, bringing our damage total up to 1,087. Now, we've still lost quite a bit more health than we've dealt. We are at 450 health, which means we've bled about 1,400 this game, and we've dealt about 1,000 in return. Usually, if I'm going to die, I at least want to deal the same amount of HP as I have, you know, damage, because then at least I feel like I've made my tank worth its weight in the battlefield. So what are we going to do here? Well, we have not much to our disposal. I know that these Leopards are probably going to push off to my, you know, front right here, because that's where I would go if I was in a medium. I'd flank. So it's a really, really tricky game. I mean, I see the Leopard, but I don't really have a shot on him. Thankfully, our 1-2-1 gets a good bleed, but oof. Those two Leopards shoot him back for 786, bringing that 1-2-1 down to a rather low amount of HP. And that Minnow sitting hull down on the other flank. This is not a great situation. Almost everybody on my team's pretty low. But what I'm hoping is that, there you go, Leopard shoots, backs up, and that gives me the opportunity to shoot the Leopard once, and I'm really willing to whisk it, yes, my brain died there. I'm willing to risk my HP and shoot that Leopard twice, because now that Leopard's down to 500 HP, which gives my team the aggressive advantage here. I mean, my tank isn't reliant on the hit points, it's reliant on that double shot mechanic, so I don't really mind making myself a one-shot to get that damage out there. So we're up to 1900 now, which means I've officially done more than my tank has in its overall health, which is fine with me. At least I know if I die, I've done something this game, right? So we got the 50B, we got the Leopard one, and I'm not really able to do much to these guys. And what's on my mind right now is that grill, making sure the grill can't see me, and the Progetto and the Kron. Hopefully that Progetto didn't spot me. No, it did not. Okay. But what I want to do is I want to get behind this Kron and see if I can get some damage out. I know that the grill cannot see me, and I just heard him shoot, so I know for now I'm in the clear. So I'm going to make my way right behind this Kron. I'm going to get a 391, and then I'm going to load in a high explosive and deal 500. And just like that, I'm up to 2,800 damage. And even though this Kron really wants to tunnel me, ooh, don't want to be shot by the Progetto. Thankfully my 114 was there, because I probably would have died, but it's not too big of a deal. I still got the clear into that player, and just like that, we're doing pretty good. We're up to 2,800 damage. The enemy team has 2 tanks left, a Grill 15 and a Minnow. So are we going to be able to deal any more in this game? Well, I'm going to push fully wide. I'm going to activate my speed boost, which obviously gives me a increase here. And now we're going to push as quickly as we can all the way in the corner. I'm hoping that the 50B doesn't get some nukes into this grill, because I want to bleed him out myself. And we have a faster entry clip than the 50B. So now I know now that I've shot that this 50B is not going to be able to take away the damage. And we get 2 shells into him, dealing now 3,550. That's a lot of damage, actually. Again, a great example of the damage output this tank has. So all that's left at this point is the enemy Minorato. We're going to fire a heat shell. Doesn't go where I aimed, but still penned, and we fire another. That one does go where I aimed, and we deal 4,060 damage. So even in this game, a result that looked terrible, you can see where that double shot mechanic actually allowed me to quickly pick up an additional 1,300 damage in the end of that result there. It allowed me to deal a lot of damage in general and have a pretty fun time. I actually have been enjoying the Murat quite a bit. I think it's a fun medium. My stats are pretty good on this account in it, 84% with 3,300 average damage. And I actually think it's a rather solid vehicle if you know what you're doing. And the game that I just played in the vehicle, which was 7,150 damage, places me in the 3rd highest damage ever dealt past crippling depression in the vehicle. So it's actually a really solid tank. And while I don't think that it's the right vehicle for everyone, I think that for certain people out there, this is actually a tank that you'll really enjoy playing. So what do I think? I would give the tank overall a solid 8 out of 10. I think that it should have a little buff, maybe on the either DPM department. I think 2,600 DPM is just a little too low. I think 2,800 would be the nice sweet spot. Either buff its DPM a little bit or make its dispersion a bit better. If that happens, I actually think this will be a fantastic tank. And it's already solid, but I think it could be a little bit better. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I would say, though, if you are looking for a fun medium to grind, this is definitely a solid shout. I mean, the AMX 13 M24 is great. It's got really good pen, 240 mils on the APCR. The Arak 105 Proto also has great pen, super solid tank, and the Luis is fantastic. The whole line's great, and I actually think this is a fun tank. My opinion has gone up in the vehicle as I've played it more. I think the first couple weeks people were really tunneling it because it was new, but now that it's been out for a while, people don't really focus it that much, and they don't care too much about it, so I've been actually enjoying it because of that. You just got to be very passive. If you play aggressive, you're going to get nuked, as you saw in that second game. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!